What have you got your book on?
It's on. Just press the record on there.
Oh,
Nice
it's
to turn it off.
marvellous, isn't it? I mean, can we work with these amateurs? It's quite simple. You should understand.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Good afternoon, Doctor.
Good afternoon, Doctor. Good afternoon, Doctor.
Doctor. Right, we'd like to talk about chemistry and manufacture of hydrogen. If anybody's into free energy, they've reprinted this book from 1919, and it tells you all you need, everything that you need, in order to manufacture and all about the chemistry of hydrogen, right? Because all free energy can come from water.
Actually, the hydrogen is a side effect. I actually do something else, which I think you might know about, Doctor. I think you might know about, Doctor.
Yes, Doctor?
And I pass electricity through water and a couple of silver rods. I make this thing called colloidal silver.
Have you seen this?
All it is 27 volts. These batteries are lined together 9 volts a piece. Yeah, lined up in here, and then the electricity passes through one silver rod to another silver rod through the water. The water gives enough conductivity, if not you can tweak it a little bit, and tiny microscopic pieces of silver come off. A little bit of hydrogen comes off as well, but not enough to worry about. This is just for making the silver. And apparently the silver, like magnesium, iron, zinc, potassium, things we actually need for our body.
Yes.
But apparently it's one of those secret minerals, boosts your immune system and kills off nasties.
Oh,
Like
sounds good.
AIDS. Oh, I think there's a patent out, I think it was 1996, where somebody made one of these, added a bit of oxygen to
Yes,
it, and all the AIDS went away. But you can't have things like that. But anyway, that's silly because this makes silver, and we want to know about hydrogen because this will stop you dying, but this might keep you alive.
Which fortunately is made out of water, and it just so happens we have quite an abundance of that on this planet.
Well, we're having quite a bit more
on the
hitters
planet.
at the moment, aren't
Yeah.
we? And on the west coast as well.
And do you know when you burn it, do you know what it turns back
Water?
into? Yes.
I didn't know you could burn water. Where have you ever burnt water? Explain.
It tells you how to do it in here.
Well, it depends. If you're near anywhere that's fracking, then just turn your tap on and your water might be burning.
Fracking hell. Now, I've heard of a little experiment that a gentleman's done where he's put a container into his car, and then from the battery, because it's got enough voltage to do that, he does the same thing. He electrocutes the water, and then hydrogen oxygen comes off it.
Yeah, and then you
So-
set a light to it and...
Stanley Meyer was the first one that we know of to do that back in the 80s, and he actually was running his car on water.
Now, that's a bit embarrassing, isn't it?
I want to go on for progress to something else. I want to go run my car on nuclear fusion. Nuclear fusion.
I think we need a flux
Right.
capacitor.
Again, it's using the same principle as a cylinder, but
got
you
it
just turn the
on
voltage up a little bit.
It's okay, then.
And what it does
Voltage effect.
is cold fusion happens. It's basically creating a universe in a cylinder just by adding voltage to water.
I saw
Like those two did back in the 90s, and then we're poo-pooed.
Yeah, the video was called Fun in the Lab.
Didn't our friend, the Frenchman, actually, he's done it in a jam jar.
Yes.
It's very dangerous to do nuclear fission in your shed. His wife doesn't like him doing it. I think they're falling out about it. A few little, but not as big as the bombs. I mean, why doesn't it
No.
just blow up
Well,
using
people-
nuclear fusion?
It has nothing to do with bombs, that's atomic, right? Cold fusion, there's no radiation, so there's no poison.
So what you mean? You get water,
Yeah.
and you change that.
You put some salt in it,
That's
put
getting
seawater
complicated.
in,
Have we got any salt?
and you shove about
Electrolyte.
268 volts in it, and you see what happens. Basically, you get nuclear cold fusion,
Oh.
right, which could power the entire planet. And as these two gentlemen have said, there's an abundance of it.
There was even
Water. Seawater.
There was even a car on that BBC programme where they drive about.
Yeah.
Top Gear.
They made one, didn't they?
No, Germans, Mercedes have got one, and they were talking about it, how this car ran itself, produced its own electric energy, and could produce enough energy for the whole street to live on. But that was a few years ago, so it must be a due out any second now, mustn't it?
Because we know Clarkson likes the lead in his fuel. Good old Jerry.
Well, the so-called scientists of this planetary game sphere that we're all playing on, of this virtual reality game, say that cold fusion's not possible. But Tadahiko Mizumu is on the back there he is, nice looking gentleman
He's
from
not from
Japan,
Star Trek.
proved it. So you get a hold of this book, you can get
Looks
it
like
on Amazon or eBay. It's only a few quid. And some guys did, and they did it in their kitchen. They showed that cold fusion is possible in their kitchen.
Sadly, they're now dead because they created an atom bomb. Oh no, that's a different story.
They're not dead at all. They're quite alive.
So,
So are the government agencies lying to us?
Well, this is quite new to me. I mean, that hydrogen stuff, I've now watched and seen people play with it, but really, I mean, that book, when did it come out? It must be fairly new, this one. The hydrogen book.
Yes, the hydrogen book was 1919. Yeah, and it's been a classic series. Hard Press have reprinted it.
Well worth a
Because I don't
read.
think a lot of people wanted other people to do this. It's got all the schematics and all the diagrams and all the chemistry, the mathematics, everything inside it.
Is this the same version that our friend's using to produce 200 litres?
No, not 200 litres, only getting 2 litres per minute under pressure of 2.5 pounds per square inch of hydrogen, and he's running off 40.
2.5 litres a minute.
Unfortunately, it's a little bit too much for the system of running the vehicle, but he was getting a bit of a loss what to do with it all, and I thought, we can come up with some ideas. That's 40 volts. No, 40 amps, sorry. 12 volts. It's
Yeah,
producing...
very, very small
So you can run that
currents.
off a car battery then?
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it's producing a little bit too much to mix in with the fuel.
Just use a Tesla coil to step up the voltage.
I think you could be right. This is very important, this book, though, because I believe you can also get digital versions of this. We've read this a long time ago, but having it here and having it in paper format, really, 1919, and they seem to know more now than you do now.
Then.
All the technology
Turn it
was
up
taken
against
from
that.
the so-called First World War.
Right, it's called
The Great War, as they called it.
The Chemistry and Manufacture of Hydrogen by Teed P. Litherland?
Litherland.
Philip
Philip Litherland.
And the ISBN number is 9781313072180. You have to rewind that if you didn't get it.
It's quite interesting to say that the government agencies say you can't run things off water and you can't make cold fusion, although it's been proven. So we leave it in your own hands. Try it out yourself. Apparently, they say look up the video, Fun in the Lab, where the two guys, they show that nuclear cold fusion is possible in their kitchen.
And for the hydrogen stuff, just put up Stanley Meyer on YouTube and you'll see him where he was actually made it onto the American news, main channels, where he was running his car on water in the 80s, and you're telling me we can't today?
But prepare to spend some time looking, because at first you go, is it believable? Not only is it believable, but you'll notice how much information was out there. Why don't we know about it now? Why isn't this?
Isn't it strange that it's being hidden from us all? Well, not now.
It's a shame,
It's
really.
almost like it's been suppressed.
Yeah.
Oh, look
So
at
you
that.
keep carry on paying your money to the major energy companies for something which comes through the pipes for free.
We haven't found out who owns all
But
that.
there's no need to burn all that rubbish.
They won't tell us. But
Strange that.
we'll keep digging away.
Well, at least we've got some big crisis at the moment to keep us distracted by all that's going on. And
Yes.
hopefully Mr. Osborne has sorted out a lot of our financing.
Oh, it's going to be hard this year.
Well, we've got-
for all you poor people, anyway.
Yeah, because
Unfortunately, Nick.
there's still a big hole where the money's got to go to plug up, because we're borrowing from that big hole, and we're borrowing too much money from the hole than us putting it in there. But I want to know how much is in the hole.
But why don't we just print our own money? Don't borrow anything. Print it at face value and just print an X amount, so much amount, so that we all have enough, and then we can all just trade that with each other, and there's no hole.
Yeah, but you could print as much money as you want then, couldn't you?
Yeah.
What about if everybody had access to everything, then greed wouldn't exist, would it?
Would you get up and go to work and help others? Or would you expect everybody else? Oh no, everybody's got to do the same, haven't they?
Well,
So if you can't be bothered to get up and go and work at the BP,
because we've got all the army, all the navy, all the air force, all those not working, all
They can
those
work.
working at the moment in jobs that won't be needed in the future, we can share the workload between us and perhaps only do a day's work each, and we still have everything we possibly
what
want.
you mean, and spend the time actually
Those,
leisure?
those that want to
Employ those
work,
people to look after.
work.
Yeah, some will want to work.
Those that want to live a life of leisure, look after others, do what you like.
I'm a bit-
Why should you have a government which tells you you must work, you must pay taxes, otherwise we're going to arrest you, that's violence and force towards you, and put you in prison. There aren't any jails anymore.
But don't forget, good old Osborne, he has said, we've got to make cuts and we'll start with the poorest.
Exactly. They need to cut another 25 billion. They
Wait a
won't take
minute,
anything out
better
of their
idea. How about
pockets.
start with the richest?
What you
Yeah,
mean?
why do you have to take from the poor and not the rich?
What, now have everything returned to one central core before you claim what you believe you have a right to?
Is me looking for 35, 40 grand to buy a farm?
A farm for 40 grand?
Yeah.
You should
In
be
the
on-
Middle East.
You should,
Not in
Ah.
England.
you should be on more than that anyway per year.
And everybody will work on the
Tax
farm for
free.
free. And they could take all the food that they want. And
Sounds,
the animals will be given a lot of love.
sounds lovely, but you know, like some people need to be told what to do apparently. That's why we do have government.
Well, that's why they can just go and do the one day job for one day a week, and they can choose which one, But if there's no vacancies there, they'll just have to do another one. It's only one day as opposed to 4, 5, 6 or even 7 like at the moment.
We did go down to a 3-day week once in England, and that's to, what was that for? Because
No idea.
Because they wanted to make us poorer.
What about asking all the children in school, get rid of the teachers, stick them in the audience, ask the school children what to do. Do they understand no ill or harm or
It's
loss?
not quite fair with the teachers because a lot of them
Yeah.
actually want to teach, it's just they aren't allowed to teach what
in
would
the
be...
system.
Yeah.
They only tell you what the author says so in the book, and of course you have to believe every word that the author
And who writes
says.
the book for the teachers?
Author, where does the word authority come from?
That's quite good, because there's a little bit that came up on the news just recently about the government has suggested that the councils empty the bins every week as they used to. Now you notice even from the government to local councils, it is suggested.
Oh, if it's just a suggestion.
They're
you
not
don't have to pay
ordering. They are not ordering people to do things.
It's a request.
It's a request. So it's down to whether the council wants to. So
But
are they requesting you to put your bins out once a week or twice a week, or would that be an order?
Well, it depends if they give you some sort of fine for not putting them out or not taking them in.
I know a man who's been fined for not taking his bin in. Now we've pointed out as well it's not his bin.
Did he put his number and name on the bin?
There was a big
Actually,
number on it,
You know, if you
yes.
put your number on the bin, they come and knock on your door and ask for your name. And then if you give the name, then they fine you. You know what it is about the name, don't you?
And of course, someone was telling me recently what they're doing, particularly in Nottingham anyway, is the council going around stealing bins that are left out on the street.
They take them away now.
And then what do? You phone up and say, oh, my bin's gone, somebody stole it. Go, can we just have your name then, please? You give your name and then you get a fine through the post and your bin returned.
Yeah, that's how they do it. Anyway, we're going to finish it here. That's our little talk about chemistry and manufacturing of hydrogen.
That's what we were talking
and how
about.
to
wasn't it?
do nuclear cold fusion.
Yeah.
Have
We do
fun.
keep on track always.
Have fun, everybody. Be well.
Have fun.
We love
See you
you.
soon. Bye.
Don't buy anything. Don't do what he said. Don't buy a thing.
Goodbye. A very goodbye
Good,
to
good.
you.